will be forever remembered as Mr. October. The image is well documented. Reggie Jackson hitting 3 homers in the 6th and final game of the 1977 World Series. After appearing in 5 World Series and 12 league championships, Jackson capped his legacy with a single during his final at-bat. The sport was also changed in 1987 when umpires were hot on the trail of the scuffed baseball. The witch hunt turned up its first victim on August 3rd when Joe Niekro of the Twins was caught red-handed with an emery board in his back pocket. But Niekro's Twins finally made it to the World Series, where they were heavy underdogs against the high-flying St. Louis Cardinals. Minnesota forced the series to a 7th and deciding game. The contest was decided in the 6th inning when Greg Gagne punched a 3-2 pitch to third. The throw to first was late, allowing the winning run to score. The long drought for the fans in Minneapolis was finally over. When Indianapolis played host to the Pan American Games, it was the first series of Pan Am Games held in the U.S. since 1959 when they took place in Chicago. Indianapolis staged a majestic show for the 6,000 participants from 38 nations, and the city was rewarded with an impressive display of individual performances. It was Jackie Joyner-Kersee who led the display of athletic brilliance. On her 3rd attempt of the night, she added a ½ an inch to her American long jump record with a leap of 23 feet 9½ inches. On her 6th and final jump, Joyner-Kersee exploded off the board and soared to an impressive distance. The ruling by the steel tape, she had equaled the world record of 24 feet 5½ inches. The Cuban baseball team faced disaster in the Pan Am Games. Widely regarded as the best amateur team in the world, the Cubans hadn't lost a game in the Pan Am since 1967. That was until Ty Griffin of the U.S. blasted a curveball over the left field wall with 2 out in the 9th for a 6-4 U.S. victory in a mid-tournament matchup. But led by 20-year-old third baseman Omar Linares, who has been scouted by major league clubs, the Cubans returned to the gold medal round, there to defeat the Americans, capture the gold, and to continue their domination of baseball in the Pan Am Games. Among the other gold medal champions in the Pan Ams, Sylvia Pohl, a 16-year-old swimmer from Costa Rica, won 3 of the 5 individual events she entered, tying a Pan Am record for women's swimming gold medals, and making herself a top prospect for the 1988 Olympics. American diver Greg Louganis swept the platform and springboard gold for an unprecedented 3rd time. An injured Tim Daggett led the U.S. gymnastics team to its first Pan Am victory since 1975. 9 Cuban weightlifters each picked up a gold medal. And Brazil topped the U.S. in basketball, winning the gold in a stunning upset on U.S. soil, right here in the town that bills itself as the city of sport. Men's professional tennis was also an even display of offensive tactics. Graf's punching forehands and cross-court game versus Martina's aggressive net attacks. After splitting the first 2 sets, Navratilova held a 5-3 advantage in the 3rd, but Graf accelerated her pursuit, seizing a 6-5 lead with another forehand volley winner. Steffi Graf became the youngest women's singles champion in French Open history. The emotional German took a 6-4, 4-6, 7-5 victory. Dr. J became only the 3rd player in NBA history to score over 30,000 career points. The record will show that Dr. J's final NBA basket was a 3-pointer against the Milwaukee Bucks near the end of the 1st round of the '87 playoffs. Seconds later, the 37-year-old superstar left the game for good with a tearful salute from his teammates. Dr. J's legacy is carried on now by 2 familiar superstars. Magic Johnson won the league's MVP award with shots like this unbelievable 80-footer against Denver. And Larry Bird continued his unrelenting style of play by stealing an inbound pass against Detroit in the Eastern Conference Final, then dishing it to Dennis Johnson for a 1-point Celtic victory. The NBA Final was billed as another Magic and Bird showdown, but it was James Worthy who earned a curtain call in the first half. Worthy, a monstrous fake on Kevin McHale, and hits the turnaround for an 8-2 Laker lead. Later in the period, he shot past Kevin McHale again, this time shoveling it to Kareem for the jam. With the celebrity-studded Forum crowd cheering, Worthy finally delivered the knockout punch in the third period. He put the Lakers on top for good by flushing out a pass intended for Dennis Johnson, then saving it and feeding it to Magic for the jam. By the time Danny Ainge dished his rebound to Bird for the bucket, the Celtics were out of it. Boston could manage only 12 points in the third period, and that translated to a 106-93 Laker victory, which gives Magic Johnson an edge. Ever since Magic and Bird entered the NBA together in 1979, one or the other has been in the finals every year. Now Magic holds the lead over Bird in championship rings, 4-3. By the 21st stage of the Tour de France, only 146 cyclists had survived to join them. Indiana guard Steve Alford came out with all guns firing, tossing up rainbows from beyond the three-point stripe. During the second half, Alford single-handedly kept the Hoosiers in the game, connecting on his seventh three-pointer to cut the Syracuse lead to 52-50. Meanwhile, the Orangemen failed with their own aerial attack. Greg Monroe missed an off-balance three-point attempt, and Darryl Thomas crashed the boards for Indiana, lofting a pass to Alford on the break to tie it at 65. But the Hoosiers could never sustain a lead. Still trailing 73-72 with 26 seconds left, Indiana head coach Bobby Knight selected to play for the last shot, stalling until Keith Smart popped a towering jumper. The Orangemen panicked in stunned silence, allowing the clock to tick down to 1 second before signaling for a timeout. It took Smart's interception of an inbounds pass to steal the win 74-73. The third national title for Bobby Knight.